welcome once again to the Spider's Web. I've decided on this video that instead of doing a painting, or painting some figures, or doing an unboxing, I'm going to have a try at making something. Now I have made a few things before. I've made a couple of, what do you call it, buildings and whatever. But this time I'm making something slightly different. I want to be making a dice tower, and the reason being is I don't have one. Good enough reason than any. So I thought, what the heck, as I've had a look around on online to see if I could find one to buy, but they all seem to be a little bit expensive, so I've decided to try and make one, and I'll be making one in foam core. So I'm going to put the camera down onto a tripod, set it up, and then I can show you what I'm doing. Okay, see you in a sec. Okay, right. Well, what do we need first? Well, obviously we need plans, and these are what I've downloaded off the interweb, and I'll put a link in the description to show exactly where I got them from. So we'll start off with this first, and this shows you the right side of the tower with the position of the levels, steps, and then it also has the tray front and the top dice step, which is that one. This one gives you the left side of the tower and the tower front, which is the bit that goes in there. This gives you the tower back, which on that will be here. The mid dice step, which is that one, the bottom dice step, which is that one, and the actual bottom where it sits on. And then this one, I don't know if you can see, oops, wrong way around. That one, if you want to put felt on the bottom of it, that will give you the size of felt that you need to cut out. Okay, so I'm not bothering with that because I don't particularly need it, but it might come in useful if I change my mind later. Okay, so how do we get this onto our foam core? If you've done any modelling before, you know what foam core is. It is just a piece of laminated card with a layer of foam in the middle of it. You also need a sharp knife. The reason you need a sharp knife is that this stuff is kryptonite to blades. It will blunt a blade like nobody's business. So I've also got my multi-tool for snapping blades off, because I don't like using these. I don't have the grip to be able to snap it off. I've also got masking tape, and secret weapon in my arsenal is a carbon stick and an embossing tool. You also need, which I forgot to pick up, a straight edge and, which again I forgot to pick up, glue. I'm just waving that because it's got a name on, and I don't want to be advertising, especially when you find out what the name is. Okay, so what do we do first? Well, in order to get the design from here to on there, from here to on there, what we'll do is we'll turn it over. And on the back, we'll scribble using the carbon stick. We have a good scribble. What we're trying to do is get every inch, every line, well, not every inch of the lines, as long as we've got most of it done. That's the main thing. Okay, so let me just double check that against the light. Okay, there's that bit at the top of that it needs doing. I think that's almost everything covered. There we are. I just want to make sure that all the corners are actually covered more than the straight edges. If the corners are covered or salted. Okay, the next thing we do, like this, we place our piece of paper with the plans onto the foam core. We use our masking tape, just a little bit, we don't need much. Our straight edge, in fact what I'll do is I'll take it over a bit more because we don't want to waste, don't be wasting foam core, do we? And then, oops, put our straight edge to each of the lines, and we, oops, a bit of eye on that one already. There we go. That's one line. And mark off every single line, even the parts where it shows you the shelves there, because we need to know where every single thing is going, and go on and do that. And when I've done the outline of this, or the full outline of this, I will actually show you how it looks. Oops, I've missed that long edge there. There we go. Go all around there, and it will eventually look like that on your phone call. Good, eh? Right, so I'm going to do all this piece, and then I'll come back and finish the rest. Okay? Back shortly. Hello again. Right, we're done. Got all the plans done. And now we can mark off what it is. So that's right side, tray front, top, dice, step. Okay, now is the time to start cutting. So, as I said, we will need a very, very sharp knife for this, and if you don't have one, then you really need to get one. Because, as I said, this foam core will tell you exactly when you need to change your blade. You'll start cutting as it goes on. If you've never used the stuff before, it's brilliant for building stuff out of, but as I said, it's kryptonite to knife blades. And you'll always know when you need to change your blade. Which is a good thing. So, just going to away it. just a nice pluck in there, as you can see. Hoping you can see. So it's time to get busy with the new blade. And don't try when you're using this stuff to go too far too quickly. It's better making about 2 or 3 cuts than one deep one. There you go. That is the right side, so that one sits like that. Next we'll have cut out the front on the shelf. Sides. I'm sorry if the camera's a bit wobbly. It's on the stand, it's fully extended, so the table's not terribly steady either. Should have put the camera on the tripod. It's on the floor. Okay, so that's the top dice shelf, and it will be sitting like that on the board. So that's that there. We'll cut this out. This piece is the piece that fits there. So we've only just started, and already we've got the front done, and we've got the top shelf done. You can see all that. The front and the top shelf. Next, what we need is where's my clamps gone? What we need is the tower fronts on the left hand side. So we'll repeat that process again. For these pieces, and once I've done that, I'll come back and show you all the pieces what we've got so far. Okay? So I shall see you in a second. Hello, I'm back again, and we have done all the basics that we need to do. We've got the bottom dice step done. We have obviously the top dice step done, which we did on camera. We have the middle dice step done. You can see. We have the tower fronts. That's there. We have the other tower fronts, which fits. Oops, where are we? I don't know where I'm going. Which fits on there. We have both sides done, and we have the tower back. Like so. So all that's needed now is construction. These pieces that we've cut off, don't get rid of. They will come in handy, as you'll see in a bit, because we can use part of them for supports for the shelves. Glue that onto there. Sorry, wrong one. And put the shelf on so that we know where it's going. So, all the pieces are now cut out, they're marked off as you can see. All that's left now is for construction. And that can wait for another day, because it's now 11:30 at night. I'm tired and I really need to go to bed. So I shall see you all soon and carry on with this. Probably tomorrow afternoon, if not tomorrow evening. So until then, take care, God bless, and bye for now. Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web. I've decided instead of using the wood glue, I'm going to use my hot glue gun. So what I'm going to do first is put the supports in for the shelves. So it's just a case of cutting the little bits of the offcuts down. We don't want it all across because I don't know exactly how the back fits on. So it's just simply a case of, with the hot glue gun, get some glue on the back of, for some strange reason it's going all over the table. Just get some of this all over the back of what we're going to use as support, and press it down. Next, one more. Do the same thing again. This time. And what I was saying before about using blunt knives for this, it doesn't make any difference when you're doing these because it's not going to be seen. So if it does pluck or anything, don't worry about it. These are just supports. Supports on one side, next supports for the other. Just have to try and remember not to put them on the top, but put them underneath. One. And the stringy bits. too. Just a touch too long. And 3. Yeah. Okay, the support's done. Okay, so that's the bottom. Now how's this going to work? How's it going to fit together? That's it, right. So it actually fits together so that the back goes actually not just attach on the back like so, it attaches inside like that. What we need to do is, first of all, that's the top shelf. So that's the top shelf, and that will fit onto there, and that back will go that way. So it's just a case now of gluing the top shelf onto there. Next, middle shelf. Oops. I'm going off the camera because I'm not used to working this way. That's the middle shelf, and that's what's so. And finally the bottom shelf, which is that way, and that goes like so. Go down. Okay, so now we've done that, we can tower back is there. I think they don't last very long, these, do they? Pop that in. There. And we can now just put a touch in on the top edges of these. Oops. Yeah, I've got string from this glue all over the place. I've not used this before. It's a relatively new purchase. Okay, so that's basically one side done. You can see how it looks. That's the inside of it. So we now need the bottom, which is like so. What I want to do is get my rubber pencil line. Okay, that's that glue done. And I can just go along these two edges and so there we have the side, the back and the shelves done. Next what we need to do is the tower front will sit like that inside, but it won't go all the way down to the bottom. And the tower front will go like so. So I think we'll glue that one on now. Yeah, that's that done. Unfortunately, for some strange reason, the plans weren't quite right because it's not. I'm saying the plans weren't quite right. It could simply be a case of alcohol. There's always that case. And then we simply glue that part to the side there, and then this piece goes in the middle. So we'll do that now. So we've got this edge. I'm sorry, I've gone off camera. So we just go up that edge, we run across there, across there, across there, there, and down here. And we place it on. And then we have the basics. And now what it's a case of doing is gluing that onto there. Saying that, I wasn't quite quick enough with the gluing. There we go. And finally, it's just going all the way down, do I? That slips in like so. And there's the dice tower. Done. Now you can, if you so wish, put some felt in the bottom there. But when we come back next time, I'm going to show you another way, or I'm going to show you the way I'm going to be decorating this, because I'm not leaving it pure white. But before we do that, let's just make sure it works, shall we? And for that, I have my 20-sided D&D dice. I'm just going to alter the camera down. Bring the lamp over so we can see, and I'll pop the dice in the top, and that will be a 16. So depending on what kind of draw we're going for, it would either be good or bad. Okay, so as I say, next time on the next video, I'll be showing you a way of decorating this rather than just painting it matte black. Okay, so until then, take care, God bless, and bye for now. Hello and welcome back to the Spider's Web, and as I said in my last video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to decorate my dice tower. It needs doing, something needs doing with it, because there's gaps, there's uneven surfaces, this and the other, so it definitely needs something sorting out. So what I'm going to be using is this. It's a white pumice. It's like a textured paste that I'm going to put on it, and obviously I'm going to do this in stages. I'm not going to do it all at once because it will just cause a mess. But as you can see, that's how it looks. And you don't want a good brush on this. This is one I've had a while, it's a bit shot at. And all we're doing is just brushing it on. And this will give a rough, textured stone effect to it. And once it's painted up, it will hopefully look like it's made of stone. Now we do this all over, even in the places that is hard to reach, hard to get to. As I say, it'll have to be done in stages because it takes a while to dry this stuff. I'm not going to go all the way through. I'll just stop the video and then come back to it when I've finished it all. It may take a day or two before it's all done, but base. I know I've started it, or at least you know I've started it, and by the time it's finished it will look totally different from that. It will look more like that, and then it just needs painting. So if you'll bog off and leave me to it. Well, here's the dice tower all covered in the pumice, except for the base. I've had a problem trying to get into, I don't know whether you can see in there, let's see if I can, oh, where are we? I don't know whether you can see down there or not, but I've had a problem trying to get in with the brush, so I'm going to try and get it done. Just do it matte black, or flat black, with the spray can, and see what happens then. So the next time you see it, it will be all black, and then I will show you the next part. Okay, take it easy. I'm back. Yes, the dice tower has now been painted black. I've managed to get into all the nooks and crannies inside, I think, but as yet you can't really see much in the line of detail. So what we're going to be doing is exactly the same way as I do the bases for my Dungeons and Dragons figures, starting off with Shadow Grey, moving up to Codex Grey, Fortress Grey, and then what colour is it now, White Scar. We just do some dry brushing over. So we'll do that now. And oops. And we just give it some stick with a brush. That brush is a bit too small for what we're doing. I'll use this one. Trying to get in everywhere where the snow, or where the pumice, not where the snow, where the pumice has gone. We can leave the base black if you wish, or you can paint it. You can paint it with the grey. I'm thinking myself of going over with grey a bit later on, like the Codex Grey, or the, I think you're just doing a flat surface or flats finish, and just to take off the blackness, so I can use, if I wanted a black dye, and allow it to stand out. So it's just a case of, I think what I'll do is get this paint and go over the inside, give it a flats. Cover it with the Shadow Grey. And I can do some messing about with the other greys afterwards on it. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. I'm just doing this way because I've not got any films on it, and I'm umming and ahhing about whether to get some. I'm not sure whether or not to bother. But there again, saying that, I like the idea. So it's just it's not exactly a dry brush. But we don't want to paint all over all the black. There we go. And you do that until the whole thing is covered. And when it is, I'll come back and let you see the next step. Okay, see you in a sec. Okay, and there we go. On the shadow glaze we've applied. I've done the inside of the box as well, as you can see. So that's that done, and now we go on to the Codex Grey. And you've seen me do this before if you've watched my Legend of House of Cormier repainting videos. Basically the last video, the series I did showing you how I painted the base, it's exactly the same deal. With a little bit of this Codex Grey, you just go over. You're not covering every little thing, it's just to pick out certain details. We're not being too fussy about what's being picked out. It's just to create, I'm trying to create the effect of stone. See, I'm not. You know, you can do this without actually looking at what you're doing, and all we're really wanting, as I say, is just coverage on the high points. I'm not even going to do a full coat of this on the base. I'm just a little bit of a design on there. Not a design, it's just marks. Just on the top. Now after this one goes on, we're going to have to then start looking at what is going to be hit by light. You see, the idea being is we're just trying to build up the highlights and everything now to pick out all the detail, all the roughness of the stone, of the stone effect. And so the next time we come, we're going to be going darker and darker. Well, sorry, we're going to go paler and paler, but we're going to have to pick out the white parts rather than just do the whole lot. So the next time we come, we're going to be going paler and paler, but we're going to have to pick out the white parts rather than just do the whole lot like I'm doing here. So the undercoat was basically the black, the base coat you could say is the shadow grey. This is the first highlight colour. So we are going to need 2 highlight colours after this, as I say, but we're going to have to make certain areas more highlighted than others. And as you can see, I'm not being not being careful with how I'm applying it. I'm just slapping it on, which is what you don't want to do. As long as you've got a small amount of paint on your brush, you don't have to take your time when rushing. Or you don't have to take your time, you can just get on with it, slap the paint on. I'll do the inside as well. Now this part is going to be the brightest part, so we want this being a touch brighter anyway, which is why I'm allowing more paint to come off the brush. We cover up a lot more of the shadow grey, but once as long as you can see all the different colours and different shades of grey, and this, that's the main thing. You don't want just to be covering up the black with the shadow grey and then covering up the shadow grey with the Codex grey. You want to be leaving traces of the original, of the previous colour on here, because that will give it a nice mottled effect as well as like a stone effect. And on the last side now, so just get on with it. I'm hoping you can see the way the grey is coming out on this. I know it's very delicate and subtle the way it's going on, but it's actually what's needed. I mean, we can actually, if you wanted to, go a little bit darker with this, or be a bit more heavy-handed. It's not going to make any slightest bit of difference because we're going to be putting lighter on top of it as it works. So that's the Codex Grey. Now this Fortress Grey is going to be the absolute brightest highlight we're going to be putting on the faces. The white is for the edges. So what we need to do is work out where this is going to be going. Now you don't want it to be going where there's going to be shadow, so we just tickle over that there and there. We can just drop a few bits down here. And then we can get back to walls. Now obviously the tops are going to be more highlighted than the vertical parts. So let's get them done first. And now we can go and start off on the vertical. Now we don't want it going all the way down to the bottom. So about 3/4 of the way down and then stop. And that will hopefully give us quite a good gradation. Because the next time we come on, we're going to be putting the white on here, but we may put a bit on the top end as well, just to show that difference in light. And the same here as well on the front. Hope you can see that. Let's be a little more gentle here because there's not as much surface to work on. Too. On the side. Yeah, there's not as much of the surface to work on, so I'll just be a little more gentle. But here we can just a little bit heavy-handed there, and a bit too much paint on the brush. Area, but it doesn't matter. Still has that nice stone look effect to it. At the very top is going to be very bright, as is the first or the top step inside the tower. So we can be doing or paying extra attention to that, not doing, we'll pay extra attention to there because it's, as I say, going to be the brightest area, and inside we can go down a touch. Back, there's just one side to do off the back of this, and then we can go on to the extreme highlighting. There we go. And there's our dice tower almost completed. As I say, you can still, if I wanted to, get some felt and place it inside, which is why I've left it flat. If I put this on, I couldn't do that. Plus there could have been a chance of copper dice, so I didn't want to run the risk of that one. Especially with a dice tower, it's not the sort of thing you expect, so I didn't see much point in running the risk of that. So it's just going up the edges. I can do the top corner, not top corner, the top quarter of the vertical surfaces with the white. So again, it's just the top edge. Gently come down. top. On the vertical parts of the corners and edges hit with some of the white, because that's the part where the wax is going to zing off more than anywhere else. See, it's looking better already. Not quite finished. This part needs just a touch. I mean, you don't have to do it black and grey like I have. You can do it brown, you can do it whatever colour you want. Decided to pick these colours because it'll tie in with my D&D stuff, and I don't know really. That's done. Going a little bit on the inside there, just a touch here. Almost it for this. Just spin on the inside, just a touch on the top, and the front. And there we have our finished dice tower. If you want later on, I haven't painted the bottom, but if you wanted later on, you can do. I won't bother going over it to any great detail. Just any cheap black acrylic you can find, because your foam core, the foam is in there is exposed, so it could melt with any aerosol spray. So I just want to get some cheap acrylic paint and just paint it on. I'll do that later, but for now, that's the dice tower. And let's just see if it still works, shall we? Zoom in there. It seems to work fine. Give something like this a try. It's a little different from what I was normally doing. If I'm going to do it properly for myself, or if I'm going to do it properly for somebody else rather, I think what I would do is make a few slight changes. I wouldn't use the glue gun for putting on the sides on, because it's... Oops. Sorry about that. It's not exactly flush at the bottom. It's pushed out. Oops. Sorry, I shall zoom out again. Sorry, I forgot I zoomed in as well. It's not exactly flush places like here, for instance. It's made it bulge out a bit too much and knocked it out of shape. I would have stuck with the PVA glue, but I decided, just for the sake of the video and quickness, just to get it done, see what I can do with it. But yeah, I enjoyed making it. I don't think it will stop me making another one if anybody asks me to do one for them. It's a nice little unit and could come in handy for gaming. So until the next video, take care, God bless.